Nosferatu is directed by Robert Eggers and is currently playing in theaters. Well, I'm sure this actually won't be a popular reaction when it comes to this movie, but I wasn't feeling this one too much. The best way I can put it is Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, did it better. But I'll say this, it's not all doom and gloom though. We'll get into it though. So the Nosferatu name is vampire. It actually means vampire in Romanian. And the story is pretty much the same as the Dracula story. And from what I've heard, like back in the day when they tried to make the original Nosferatu, the producers who were trying to make the movie wanted to make a Dracula film, but didn't have the rights to the story or didn't know what the rights were. So instead, they made a name up and continued on with a similar premise. Hence the Nosferatu movie. And now this one too, years later. And this has a really good cast though, dude. I mean, goddamn, from top to bottom. I mean, you got Willem Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult, who was recently in another vampire flick on Netflix with Nicolas Cage called Reinfeld, which sucked. Lily Rose Depp, daughter of Johnny Depp, of course. Aaron Taylor Johnson, dude. This dude's everywhere nowadays. 28 years later, dude. Looking forward to him in that one for sure, though. And of course, you have Bill Skarsgård, who plays Count Orlok, or the vampire. And this dude, think about this for a second. This dude's played a lot of iconic characters, though, right? All right, here we go. So we got The Crow, Pennywise, and now this dude, right? And I'll say, to me, his two best recent films have been Barbarian and Boy Kills World. So none of them actually, aside from that, are the ones that I like the most of. But anyways, though, the movie itself, though, I'll say this. It looks fantastic, though, man. Gorgeous set pieces, great world building and whatnot. Top-notch acting and performances. Speaking of the acting and performances, I will say this, though. In comparison to Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, some of the acting in comparison is actually better in this than that one, I will say for sure. So I will give it that, all right? But yeah, cinematography was nice though, man. I mean, there are some shots in this film that just take your breath away. Especially like the shots during like wide exterior shots. Oh my goodness, dude. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. And speaking of performances though, Count Orlok as a character was interesting. They made sure to put a lot of emphasis on his loud breathing. Almost like Darth Vader, kind of deep breathing and shit that you just can't ignore. I mean, it's so loud and prominent, dude. Almost like it being a character itself. And the way the vampire looks is definitely not for human consumption, dude. I'm telling you that for sure. There's a reason why he hides from the shadow, or hides in the shadows, dude. He's creepy and almost grotesque looking, to be honest with you. While Dracula, could pose, more human and form, and blend in with the crowd and whatnot, this guy could not do that. Plus, I felt more empathy for Dracula than I did for this fucker, dude. I mean, Dee's backstory felt way stronger and, has more of an emotional impact. Now, for the story, a whole lot of exposition when it comes to this one, all right? Way too much exposition. I mean, Eggers has been waiting to make this film, Nosferatu, for years from what I hear. So his setups, I'll say, in world building was fantastic, but he forgot the blood and all the scary stuff that made the character invoke fear into the masses, dude, and do some pretty nasty stuff. And yes, there were some scenes, here and there, but it was so few and far between. And just, I don't know, for me, I just started kind of looking at my watch like, this motherfucker evil or not? You know what I'm saying? What the hell's going on? When is it gonna end? But what made Coppola's Dracula so goddamn good, in my opinion, was the score. I mean, the soundtrack was on point, dude. Also, there's a lot of risks he took, though, when it came to creative storytelling, though. He kind of threw some things at the wall just to kind of see what would work. Some shit better than most, but, dude, the effort is what you appreciate it, though. At least I did. Though Dracula was, in love with this woman, dude, he was still a vampire and showed you he was still evil and did evil things. I don't know, for the most part, Orlok would just kind of talk evil things and look kind of evil and whatnot, but more bark than bite. And yes, pun intended. I just needed more from this movie than it gave me, and I mean, is it fair to compare this to Dracula from 1992? Fuck yeah, it is, dude. I mean, it's the same story for the most part, right? I'm in no way saying it needs to be a carbon copy of that film, but there's a lot of missed opportunities, though, that could have made this movie a classic, or at least close to it. And possibly on my top 10, but it ain't gonna be. I don't know, Eggers seemed to be like laser focused on a few things as opposed to like the entire scope of the movie and story. And look, the casual horror fans, and I'm sure even horror fans in general, are probably going to eat this up and love it. So, and I know some people call it the best thing since sliced bread, and that's fine, but I feel in the long run, after people watch it a couple times and think more about it and watch it again, they'll realize that, wasn't as good as they thought it was. Just like some other movies I can think of. Yeah. Or maybe not. Needless to say, though, I'll just say this, though. You should go and watch this yourself and, just have your own opinions, though. I mean, obviously, these are only suggestions in my opinion, so whether you like them or not, it's just my opinion. So it is what it is, right? I mean, it's still entertaining for the most part, and Skarsgård is not recognizable at all in that makeup, dude. They did a great job with that guy. I'll just say this, though. I'll say one last thing about the comparison between this Nosferatu and Dracula. Dracula's Coke, Nosferatu's Pepsi. Anyways, dude, if you guys feel that's actually better than Dracula from 1992, let me know, dude. Let me know. But hey, anyways, though, yeah, Dracula from 1992 is my recommendation as well. If you haven't already seen it, it's on YouTube and Amazon. So yeah, I mean, shit, that's about it. Anyhow, though, that's all for today. Stay nasty, my friends, and I will see you at the next one. Shay Nasty out.
I'll see you soon.
Like and subscribe.